Are you looking for extreme amounts of spin? This is the Tennis Warehouse racket review of the Head Extreme Pro 2024. Previously known as the Tour, the Extreme Pro remains loaded with power and spin for 2024. With a 98 square inch head, an open 16x19 string pattern, and 11.4 ounce strung weight, experienced players will find this racket to swing fairly fast with a sub 325 swing weight. Auxetic 2 in the layup helps optimize feel and response, while spin grommets enable greater string movement for an increase in snapback, and the spin shaft helps with torsional stability for players who whip through their shots. This playtest was a little bit of a tale of two playtests for me. I found the racket to perform differently depending if I was drilling or if I was playing points and having a pressure situation. From the drill side of things, I found this racket so easy to swing, so much easier than my heavier rackets that have those 330 and above swing weights. So it allowed me to just flow through my shots without having to mash through the ball. I was finding such great depth, really easy spin, and I love just hitting through the ball. That was super fun for me. However, when I got into those pressure situations, I do have a little bit more energy going through my shots. I struggled a bit more with my down the line execution. I found that this racket really helped me get angles and was much more maneuverable than a lot of the rackets that I do play with. However, in a point situation, again, the second I tried to kind of play the way that I like to play, I noticed that sweet spot was really hot or cold for me. Mostly hot. There were times where the ball just flew out of the court when I'm used to it staying in. On serves though, I have to say I loved hitting big serves with this one. I could easily manipulate tons of spin. The feel of this racket was just how I like it. I felt really connected to my shots. I will say again, I did find that sweet spot to be a bit hot, especially if I was accelerating faster or really trying to hit a harder ball. But what I noticed about this racket was it was really stable outside of the sweet spot. So even my shanks or missed hits actually didn't feel as detrimental as they do with other rackets and somehow found their way into the court. So all in all, this is a racket I really enjoyed hitting with. I found it to be really fun to drill with. For my personal likes, if I'm taking it into a point situation, I definitely need to customize and add a little weight and make it a little heavier.
This was a really fun playtest. I enjoyed this racket a lot. It was an easy transition coming out of, say, something like a Speed Pro, which I use a lot for string testing here at Tennis Warehouse, jumping into this Extreme Pro. This one was just a bit more forgiving, a bit more accessible, but the ball still went where I was aiming. I thought I had great directional control with this racket, and I had fun changing the direction of play. So stepping in, taking the ball early, and getting out of a cross-court rally by changing it up, going quickly down the line, and especially on my backhand wing, I had a great success doing that both with my topspin and my slice off of that wing. I liked the feel of the racket at net, a lot of control on my volleys, thought I was placing the ball well, good access to spin from the string bed so I could cut under the ball, get it to die nice and quickly, and then I served really well with it too. So fast and easy to get through contact on the serve. I thought, as Troy Lara would say, I had good whippability coming through that stroke. I could really get some nice action. My slice serve was working well, and definitely I think there's room too, if you're a stronger player, to beef this one up with a little bit of customization. It's quite light and fast feeling in its stock form, and just a fun, easy racket to use.
I had really fun playing the Extreme Pros. It's not something that I would usually use. I tend to use rackets that are a bit more control oriented, a little bit less power, but this was really fun. Lots of spin, and it still had that solid feel to it, so I really liked playing with it. One thing I had to do is make a real conscious effort to add a little bit more spin on my ground strokes, but like volleys, really solid, serves, flat serves, again, had to take back a little bit on the swing. But on kick serves, it was really nice. All of my mates who I played with really complained about the spin I was getting on the ball, so I was really happy with that. Slice, again, really good. I really like the cosmetic on this year's version of the Extremes. It looks really cool in the really fresh lime color. And overall, this racket just plays really well. If you're looking for a racket that gives you good spin, good power, but still keeps that solid feel to it, the Extreme Pros for this year is definitely one you should try out.
Coming into this play test for the new Extreme Pro, formerly known as the Extreme Tour, really enjoyed hitting with this racket. A lot of their offerings lately have been really nice. I wasn't on the review for the previous two Extreme Tours, but coming into this Pro, kind of knew what I was getting into. I'd hit with those. I really like the fast feel, just like Chris touched on, really whippability here, quick, snappy. The string pattern gives you easy access to spin, nice launch angle, although I would say it's not crazy spaced apart, so I still had a pretty good feel and control on the ball for the most part. I would say this is a nice offering for that 98 square inch that's fast, powerful, spin friendly, kind of in there with a V-Core 98, a Pure Aero 98, a Dunlop SX300 Tour. I think this fits in with those frames. I would be adding some weight to this just because the swing weight's, you know, a little bit lower than I like. So I think a little bit of weight would help me at the net, get a little more stable feel, hit through the court when I try to flatten it out. And when hitting with someone like Michelle, the racket would just be a little bit more solid. But I really liked what I could do with the ball. I could place it well, hit my spots on serve. And I really liked using the spin friendliness and just creating those sharp angles cross court. So all in all, a bright racket, and I think it's a solid offering from Head. For this review, we tried a variety of different head strings, mostly polyesters, including Lynx Tour, Hawk Touch. For this setup right here, we have a hybrid of Lynx Tour mains, Hawk Power crosses, right at about 52 pounds. And for more information on this racket or anything else tennis related, be sure to head to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.